when we go into utilities, we have all the batch groups or the batch jobs. Batch groups is we can go ahead and create a batch group with multiple batch jobs included in it. Whereas batch viewer will be showcasing us all the batch jobs which are there for each particular table. So this one is the landing table, staging table for that. And this is the mapping. So this is the stage process where we can see the entire batch jobs. This is stage job, auto match merge, auto merge. So over here, all these are the batch jobs. So in these batch jobs, what are the batch jobs which we utilize in a regular way? First is stage. Second is auto match merge. Third is auto merge. Then it is load, match. These are the parts which we utilize in a regular basis. Why I stated match as well as auto merge and auto match merge also? Because if we want to have a different or in pieces, like first I just want to go ahead and run a match. I can utilize match and then I can run auto merge. And if I want to go ahead and run both together, then I can just go ahead and run auto match merge. Load job is used to push the data from staging to base object. So that is all the jobs which we utilize. Initial index for smart search data. This is utilized when we enable a smart search in our application plus any attribute if we have gone ahead and create searchable. When we'll be going into provisioning tool, I will be showcasing that how to create a searchable attribute. If we have enabled it, then we go ahead and run this job for that particular table. Else we will see some issues in while we go ahead and do manipulation of data in the UI. So in provisioning tool, the first thing is smart search, right? So smart search is something which we have to enable in the process server. So if we go over here, you can see the search is enabled, right? So this search is basically the smart search. Okay. So when we are enabling this part, what it means is that you can utilize the particular functionality which is being given by Informatica for API search. Okay. To use API search queries. And also it creates an index for faster processing. Okay. That is basic reason why we create a smart search or a searchable object. Now, second thing is for creating the index and to create a searchable object, we do not create any searchable object over here in Hub Console. We create the searchable object from provisioning tool. That's another module which we will be going through after Hub Console completion. So in that, there is a checkbox which we have to check for that particular attribute as searchable. So if we have enabled that, then we have to make sure that for that particular table or that particular business entity, and the business entity will be creating from base object. So that particular base object, which means that table, we should have created the index by the job. If we have not created the index, then Informatica will act up and will showcase you multiple errors while you go ahead and process any data. Then there is a process server. It gives us the information about what all settings are enabled, what all things are other. And so which server we are using? We are using the local host. What is the port? If we are utilizing the cleanse server or not. If this cleanse server is not utilized, then your match merge, your cleanse function will not work. What is the cleanse mode? Is it online only, batch only, or online or batch both? Which online means only for the APIs or the UI, or is it or the cleanse functions and the match is also being utilized for batch load as well. So we always select online and batch. Match server, match mode. Is it offline? If it's a batch is enabled or not, the smart search is enabled or not, and HTTPS is enabled or not. Okay. Audit. What do you mean by audit? Audit means what particular data is changed, who changed it, and when it was changed. Correct? So in batch form, we will go ahead and do audit configuration on stage table. Okay, when we'll be creating the stage table. But for API calls, for UI, for message queues, how we can go ahead and enable? We have to enable from over here. From this particular source system, if any API calls are being there, what all API calls are there, what we have to audit, we can go ahead and update over here according to systems. For message queues, if we want to go ahead and enable the audit, we can go ahead and enable the audit from over here. But for batch, we always enable in stage. Then the SIF manager, if any ORS or any SIF calls we need to create, we always go ahead and utilize or go ahead and configure this. This is configured once in the lifetime and it's been configured by admin people, that which will be the particular whistle which will be generated for that. If I'll go ahead, we'll refresh the objects, we'll see what is the particular objects which are being. So let's say for this one, we have to go ahead and enable. So we have to enable the whistle for this particular one. And all these things will be generated once we have a plugin which is being installed, and that plugin actually goes ahead and we can go ahead and generate the APIs for a specific ORS. You can see. We have to go ahead and select everything, or for which particular table we want to generate. So we have to generate and deploy the specific API for these things. Let's say we'll just go ahead and generate for party. So all those APIs will be generated and we'll get a URL for that particular part. So if we'll go ahead and create this, we can see what is being showcased. So anything, if that particular table we have to go ahead and do. We'll see all the XML file for that particular table. This link is being utilized by API to send the data in or to get the data accordingly. So that is how it is utilized. Then there is a user object registry, which is there for creating different user exits, which are custom codes, which are written in Java. And these are normally not utilized, or I would say normally people don't go with that because out of the box functionalities are enough for completing our task. But if there is a need that no, they need to go ahead and create it, then a Java person is required in the team who will write all these Java codes, and then you will be deploying the jar files over here, which will be created by user. So there are two types of custom codes which are written in Informatica. One is user object registries. Second is external calls. So external calls are the part where the external validation, when the cleanse function are not enough, when there is a limitation reached, then a external call is being written, which is also written in Java. And that particular external call is deployed in provisioning tool. Sorry, that has been configured in provisioning tool, but deployed on application layer, application server. And our application server is JBoss. It might be at the end of at the your end, it might be also WebLogic. So these are the two popular application server where the application is hosted or installed. Okay. So we are good with major high level information about each and every section, that what each will be giving us. So right now we just went ahead with what all things are there and what each configuration is utilized, right? So in yesterday, I stated that when we go ahead and do start with Informatica, we first do analysis, right? That is you have done. Accordingly, you are stating that you have got three source system and you got to know that, okay, there are duplicates as well. And from that, you form a model, correct? Which you will be creating over here. So all those three major points are being covered in your query. Now, the second part which I thought, or I would say which would be needed would be cleanse function and business rules, which will clean up your data. That is optional because sometimes the data is properly cleaned up already. So your task comes up to match and merge. That okay, I have known that these data is being duplicate. Now in my MDM, my base object should have the first name and the last name should be coming from a X source system. My email ID should come from a Z source system. And my phone number and my address should be coming from a Z source or Y source system. So there are three source systems, XYZ. And this is how I need to go ahead and put the trust, or I would say the survivorship of those values on that particular base object should be done accordingly. So over here, we keep as trust values. According to the system, if I want to go ahead and push the value on the base object, it will be utilizing the trust. That I trust this X source system to give me the correct name. I am pretty much sure that this Y source system will give me the correct phone number and the address. In the Z source system, I am confident that it will give me email address. But what happens if my Z source system, which was giving me the email, is not supplying me the information? Then I would be having an alternate for that, right? If my Y should be trusted later on or X should be trusted. So accordingly, we go ahead and enable the trust on those attributes. So CMX ORS is a default ORS database which is given by Informatica when we install
Right.
it in the SQL statements, or when the state, all these things are being done. Okay. So what happens is this schema. I have all these things because I have created these things. So first thing would be your model will be created. In that model, let's say you have a party table which will be having all these attributes. So all these attributes will be created. Then accordingly,
So,
we should be going ahead and applying if I need a trust on this particular thing, or I don't need any trust to be applied. So we have created even the tables we have created. So we'll be creating these things. Okay. We'll be
okay.
creating, or we'll be getting to know what all system columns are, what you guys will be going ahead and creating, because I will be just creating a simple party object or something like that. I will be deleting all these things till over here. Then I will be showcasing you how to create them. Because in RBO class, RBO hierarchy, and RBO relationship type, okay, these are created if we enable hierarchies. Okay, if you will go over here and you don't have these three tables, then it will ask you that do you want to create these or not. Okay, so these three tables are created automatically by system when we enable hierarchy. Okay, all these other tables are created by me while explaining multiple things. So I will be showcasing you one of each thing. That one I will be creating main table, one I will be creating a child table, which is, let's say over here was address, then the lookup tables, and also we need to see how dependent lookup works. Like if I select the country, then only those states should be enabled, or those states should be seen which are there. I should not see any other state. Correct. So let's say if you go ahead and select Punjab, then you should only see Punjab cities. If you select Maharashtra, then you should only see Maharashtra cities. In that same way, if I select India, I should only see Indian state. Those kind of dependent lookup. How we go ahead and create that, we'll be seeing. So for that, I will be creating two lookup tables as well. So from my side, these were the things for today's part. So this is a model which you guys will be creating. Okay. It's a basic simple party model with one address, a contact details, and a contact which would be a point of contact, or their any sibling or father, like that kind of a contact person. Okay. So this would be the something which you guys will be creating. So over here, all these orange boxes are something which is reference tables, and all these dark circles with this blue lines are relationship with main tables. Okay. So when we'll say address, we'll be having the country and state. So if you want, I can go ahead and create that as well over here. I forgot that part. We'll be creating a reference to reference lookup as well. So I'll just go ahead and change color for this. Let's say, so this would be our dependent lookup part. Okay. So this would be your model, and what all attributes will be there? These will be your attributes. These all RRs will be required attributes, which we will be utilizing with provisioning tool. In Hub Console, what we have to do? We have to create these base objects, these lookup tables, plus match and merge, which we will be doing, and a cleanse function. Okay. For registration ID, I can go ahead and write the cleanse function for this one. Okay. So these are certain number of things which we will be going ahead and we will be creating. Second thing comes in for hierarchy. For hierarchy, I will be going ahead and creating a simple hierarchy so that you guys will be knowing what all steps needs to be taken for creating a hierarchy. If you want, you can replicate the same so that you will be confident enough that, okay, whatever we are going through is we are understanding. So this is something which we will be getting to know how this actually goes ahead and runs in a process or a concept way. You go in Informatica from any version till any version. Later on, they will go ahead and do. This is the base concept. So just take it as concept. You can make it a static chart of it that, okay, this is the functionality. If this is not doing like this, then there is a issue with your configuration. It's a basic concept part. We will be seeing these things in practical sense as well once we will be going ahead and pushing the data in, if you guys want. Else, you'll be seeing this particular sections in your current project as well where you're working. That, okay, if there is any data which is getting updated, how that is actually manipulated in backend. Okay, how this hub state indicator works. So these kind of things we'll be seeing.